Good morning and a warm welcome to the Crypto Metal Markets Report. Today is Monday the 16th of November and we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, gold, silver, copper, uranium, zinc and nickel. Hi, let's look at Bitcoin, and here we have the weekly chart, and as you can see we've been in this rising trend line now for a number of weeks, certainly going back to the lows of March. It came back in April and burst through this kind of resistance into the channel, and we're now hitting the 2017 resistance. So let's take a closer look. Here's the daily chart on Bitcoin, and we're looking at the resistance area. We've got a lot of information actually happening over the last few days here. We've broken out into a new middle term high, but if you take a look at the MACD and the stochastics, you can see there's been a crossover here. If that's confirmed by the MACD, we could see a retracement in Bitcoin in the short term before it moves back onto its bullish trend. So it has hit this area of resistance. We'll take a closer look in an hourly chart now. As you can see, it's just broken out of the resistance area from 2017. It seems to be quite bullish. We've now got the top of the channel to contend with, and another previous support area back in early 2013. So there's quite a lot of resistance here. As you can see, it's tried a few times, 3 times, to break through this and failed, and then tried to break through the channel again and failed, but it looks like it's going to come up there and give it another go. If it doesn't break through here, I think there'll be a strong retest of support before it goes back again, but it looks like this is forming a new support area, and this is a positive sign for Bitcoin. Okay, so moving to gold, we'll take a look here at the daily chart, and as you can see, we've got the bull flag here, and we've got areas of resistance which the all-time high hit, and then it bounced off. Several times we've discussed the 1850, 1849 area, and it's had a couple of bounces off here. We had the big sell-off thanks to the vaccine announcement that pushed the price of gold down because there was a flight to risk assets, and we've started to find a bottom again off this 1850 to move forward to the top resistance of the flag. If we don't get a substantial breakthrough and above this area of about 1960-65, we need to be heading back up to the all-time highs by the end of the year in order to make sure this bull flag theory works. If not, I think we're going to hit this 1760 level, this area of support which we had back here in earlier in July. If we bounce off here strongly, again that could be another trigger and catalyst. If this fails, then we are going to be trading down into quite an area here, but given the supportive nature of currency devaluation that's going to be happening in the next few weeks, I don't believe this is the case. I believe this area of support, probably at the 1850 level, could hold. Failing that, definitely I think this area around 1760 to 1800 level will probably be the final point. It feels like gold needs to consolidate slightly more, but it doesn't need to, and if we have some good news for the metal, whether it's a weaker dollar imminently or the money printing and presidential confirmation in December, that could be the booster that it needs to burst through the resistance and the all-time high. So I'm fairly bullish on this in the next few weeks, but I do think we could trade sideways or down, and it wouldn't surprise me. But either way, it's going to be an exciting ride for gold. Okay, silver, the much more volatile cousin, is been in a particularly strong bull run. Basically, obviously, since the lows of March. On this monthly chart, you can see it's had a pretty meteoric rise. Not unsurprising that we're consolidating at these levels. On this monthly chart, I put the kind of resistance areas at the minute are around $26. Support's coming in roughly around sort of $23 at the moment, and the lows are kind of around 18, possibly sort of 20, 21 as well. So we could get down to these levels before it breaks through, but it doesn't have to at the moment because of what's happening with gold. Let's go into a shorter time frame. Okay, we've now zoomed into a 4-hour fractal time chart, and it's a bit more busy. You can see a lot more support and resistance areas forming here. We had the breakout. 26 was actually the resistance at this point, and a couple of times it tried to push through that and it didn't quite make it. At that point, it hit that resistance area. The information from Pfizer came out, and that's the fall in silver quite markedly, although not quite as bad as gold in real terms. It's then started to kind of consolidate around this support line, which is a rising kind of wedge, and we've got this kind of area of support is kind of broken out and it's bouncing around on, which is around about 24.5. So if we can back up to the 26 and break through that in the short term, we've got a chance of getting back to the intermediate high of around $30. If not, then I think we are going to push down into the area of support down here, around about possibly $20 area. But I wouldn't be surprised to see this push through from where we are now. Certainly, I think we need to get a bit more clarity in terms of what's going on in the American political race, the vaccine, the COVID issues and lockdowns. That's having a bearing on not just production in mines, but demand as well. But in terms of investors, there's a lot of people queuing up to buy into this metal and the miners, and that's an area of speciality that we've focused on in our portfolios. So we are looking at quite a few companies at the moment, and we've got positions in many companies that are at 52-week highs, and interestingly, they've held up very well in comparison to some of the gold miners and the bullion itself. So it's certainly worth a look at. There is potential for 2, 3, 4, 5 times gains in these metals over the next few months. Anyway, we'll move on now to the base and energy metals. Here we have uranium, and previously we've discussed this metal. It's gone back in terms of time, and we've found a low around 1750. We've got this channel building and a bit of a sideways retracement, a falling wedge effectively, and then we had this breakout a few weeks ago, going back to sort of the March area, April. At the bottom of the market, it really powered out of that, and since then it's kind of been falling back to this area of support, which is goes well back to 2015 and 16 to 18 sort of area, and more recently here. And then we've got this breakout push through it, and it looks to me, if we zoom into a daily chart, here we go, we're forming a sort of support area about 29.35, and it's kind of pushing and trying to push from there. So we'll see if this support holds, but there's quite a lot of potential for uranium to move some big numbers over the next few months as this bull market starts to come to fruition. And again, we've got some quite exciting mines which have already made double-digit returns in the last few weeks, so we're expecting these to push on quite strongly. Quick overview of copper. Copper is just in this area of resistance, which goes well back to sort of 2018-19 area. It tried a couple of times to break through the sort of 332 level, and it's heading certainly back up there. We'll reach sort of 30-month highs on copper today. This is a story about China and China's recovery, really. They're drawing in a lot of this metal, and obviously with the climate issues, we fully expect this to be underpinned by the United States in the fullness of time and globally, as more people look to apply the legislation and make climate more and more important, and look towards electric vehicles, and a big component part of those is copper. So we feel that there's a sort of a bottom now on copper and some of these metals, and we'll go through them now. A quick look at zinc. Zinc, again, we've discussed in previous reviews. We've got an area of support, an area of resistance here, 233 at the high level, and we're kind of slap bang in between the two there. So based on the strength of what's going on here, I think resistance is sort of around the sort of 28 level, 228 level. So yeah, I think we're going to see that push on quite a bit more, as is copper and nickel as well. Looking at nickel then, we've got this big Fibonacci harmonic pattern, this bearish bat, which basically predicted the sell-off down to here at the 804 level, and then since then we've managed to start this channel, and it's just got today to 12-month highs. So we're hitting the kind of area of resistance here that we need to push through the top of the resistance of this channel, and also the previous highs at 1302, sorry. This area of kind of resistance, which is probably going to create quite a bit of an issue for nickel to get through, but once it pushes through that or gets into that area, we'll have a closer look at that over the next couple of weeks. But we've certainly got this area of support and resistance now fairly well built up, and we expect, given the amount of demand from obviously, as I mentioned earlier, China and global demand, as the economies hopefully start to repair themselves, this is a metal that will do extremely well on the back of inflation and a drive for infrastructure, electric vehicles and the solar technology. So that's nickel. Hi, I've been John Hammond, and thanks for joining me on Monday the 16th of November for the Crypto Metal Markets Report. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep safe out there, and we'll report back later on in the week. At cryptometalresearch.com, we have a number of services to educate and inform you on how to benefit from the financial reset in this massive bull market. We fully expect our portfolio to return multiple double digits in the huge financial reset we're going through. The risks are high, but so are the returns for those with industry connections. We have years of trading experience to support you during your journey. Our services include Crypto Metal Premier, a full done-for-you service for the time poor who see the massive potential of having your assets realigned to benefit from the next big investment boom. We do everything for you so you can sit back, relax and watch your assets appreciate. Crypto Metal Partner, a done-with-you educational service for those who want to be involved and learn how to benefit from this massive opportunity and receive signals of when to get in and out of your positions to maximise your profits. Crypto Metal Portfolio, a do-it-yourself solution so you can learn and apply the portfolio to your investments directly without any support or assistance. Crypto Metal Pulse, a signal service direct to your inbox as and when the market dictates, combining decades of technical analysis trading within your broader crypto metal portfolio. Crypto Metal Personal, a virtual one-to-one for those who want to know more, want to discuss their personal situation and investigate what cryptometalresearch.com's investor education can do for you and your financial wealth.